So now we're looking at the bottom half of our interactive notebook sheet, and we're looking at the examples that are on there. So my first example is already done for us. 547 and 8/10 millimeters, that's the mm, equals how many meters? Well, the first thing that I had to do was I had to look over here at my anchor chart, and I had to find how many jumps I had to take from millimeters to meters. So if I start at millimeters, I'm starting here, and I'm going up the steps or to the left 1, 2, 3 times. Okay? So as you notice over here on my examples, I went and took that decimal point and moved it 1, 2, 3 times. You can see over here my answer reflects where the red decimal point is, and that left me with 5,478 10,000ths meters. That is a very small number compared to 547 and 8/10 millimeters. Okay? Now, looking at the second one, 1 and 4,500 centimeters compared to millimeters. Well, if I look back over here at my chart, I notice that if I'm going from centimeters to millimeters, I have to go to the right. I only jump one step down, so I've got to come over here and take this decimal point and move it one step to the right. When I do that, my new decimal point goes in between the 4 and the 5. Therefore, 1 and 4,500 centimeters is equal to 14 and 5/10 millimeters. Now, my next conversion here is kilograms to decagrams. I've made sure to note deca up there so we know that we're jumping to deca and not deci. If I start at kilograms, I am starting at the very tip top of my stair step here. And I have to go from here to deca. So I know I'm going to the right, but I've got to count how many times I'm going to the right. 1, 2. That means that I have to move that decimal 2 places to the right. Now, on 1 right here, I don't have a decimal point. Does anybody know where there's an invisible decimal point at every whole number? Good. It's right here on the end. Okay, and I've got to move it 2 places to the right. 1, 2. I have 2 blanks there, so I know that both of those blanks need to have a 0 put in them. So 1 kilogram is equal to 100 decagrams. Last but not least, our last conversion that we have on there is 987 and 6/10 liters, which is equivalent to blank hectoliters. So I've got to go back over to my stair step, and I've got to see where my liters are, which is right here at my unit, and I've got to go to hectoliters. So that means that this time I have to go to the left. Once, twice. So I'll need to take that decimal point and move it 2 times to the left. So here's my decimal, 2 times to the left. 1, 2. My decimal is going to be in between the 9 and the 8. So 987 and 6/10 liters is equivalent to 9 and 876 thousandths liters, hectoliters. Okay? Now, we will continue to practice this. You may notice that on the bottom part of your sheet, it talks about conversions that you need to know. Remember that as we talk about the metric system and the customary system, that we will always be given the conversion. So you will always be given some kind of conversion to help you out. With the metric system, you just need to understand how many times you move your decimal point and in what direction that you move your decimal point. You will be watching several videos throughout this week, so hopefully by Friday you will have a good enough understanding of it. But please make sure that you ask questions along the way just to make sure.